New tonight at 6, a Roanoke woman is breathing a sigh of relief after being reunited with her beloved dog.
Yeah, it was a moment she wasn't sure would ever happen. 10 News reporter Jessica Jewell joins us now live in the studio to talk about this. I mean, this must have been so scary for this woman.
So chaotic. If you have ever traveled with your pet on a plane, you know it can certainly be stressful. But imagine reaching your destination, going to claim your dog, and he's not there. And then no one can tell you where he is. That nightmare was one Roanoke woman's reality yesterday, and tonight she's still searching for answers.
I'm miserable. I'm crying. I'm freaking out.
Amber Dalton walked into the San Francisco airport Tuesday morning, planning to travel through Chicago to Raleigh, her dog Beast in a crate in the bottom of the plane. But at the last minute, a change of plans. American Airlines workers telling her the plane wasn't safe for pets, so they'd send her through Dallas instead. That's what she did, but that's not what Beast did. And no one knew where he was.
I'm thinking any number of things could have happened to him. It's horrible. It's like, and they don't want to help you because you're upset. But I am upset because you've lost my dog and you're treating it like my lost baggage.
Hours later, they found Dalton's dog in Philadelphia, where he stayed overnight before flying to Raleigh this morning and driving him to Roanoke. The airline sending Dalton this picture to make sure it was her dog.
I'm just wanting my dog to come home. I just want this to be over with. I want to know that he's fine. I know he looks fine, but is he really okay? I can't see him. I can't touch him. I don't know.
Then finally,
here we go.
Wednesday afternoon.
Beastie, come here, baby.
A much anticipated reunion after a long journey home.
You all right? Yeah, you're okay. A little overwhelmed, but you're okay.
American Airlines refunded Dalton's baggage and pet transport fees and gave her a flight voucher.
Thank you. But how did you do this? And what are you going to do to make sure this doesn't happen to another dog?
After more than 30 hours in this crate, a happy ending.
Wherever I'm going, he's going too.
But lots of questions still up in the air. We asked American Airlines what happened here. A spokesperson sent us a statement saying American Airlines takes the well-being of our four-legged passengers very seriously. As a result, we weren't able to reunite a checked pet with their owner yesterday on a trip from San Francisco to Raleigh-Durham. A conflict in our customers' routing and policies caused us to keep their pet overnight in Philadelphia at a local pet hotel. We know it's frustrating when our customers' travel doesn't go as planned and apologize for the inconvenience. You can read that full statement on our website, WSLS.com. In studio, I'm Jessica Jewell, 10 News, working for you.